Hello and welcome back to another patch from scratch. So today we're going to be looking at filter modulation, specifically the carbon and the stereo dipole. So I want to kind of create a patch. I'm not prepared this, did something a couple of days ago. Came out kind of good. So I want to show that it's not so much about the voices, but it's the way that we modulate the voices, and having good filters through a bit of an effects can give you everything that you need. Now, the focus on the way we're going to modulate these filters, but last time we did it through mimetic and some attenuation here from the lapsus. I'm going to bring in clep and show just how clep can just give that little bit extra and just help us add some variation into these filter modulations. It's not about these voices, it's about the way we modulate them. That's what I'm going to try and demonstrate. So we'll see how it goes. Got a nice beer tonight, that should probably help. It's just a standard BrewDog, but let's see how it goes. So let's get started. So we have the world's most expensive clock, Constellation, offering just clock and reset, and that's going into our dot, doing our kick drum and our hats. Metropolis is providing a little bit of a bass line and a kind of groove here. I'm just going to leave that set because I've got something reasonable there for now, so I'll keep the video shorter. And we will use that with track 1 and track 2 through our two voices here, but we'll then send them through these filters. So let's get started, see how it goes. So we'll start off by patching up this voice. So if we just send a gate into, let's get the appropriate length cable, let's just send a gate of track 1 into our gate here. Oh, before we start, I'll just show that I'm not actually showing what the dot's doing here, so we are actually already running. The reason I got the dot set like this is I can use these as mutes. This is manual mode. So if I just show you, we have a kick, we have a hat, and then I'll just take this cable out to just demonstrate what I've got here, but let's bring in this second hat, which is our channel 8 here, which we can modulate the pitch of. So I'm just going to send that through one of our mimetic channels using this long cable. So that just gives us something to play around with. So I'll just mute these off for now once we set the voices up. Okay, so like I said, we'll send the gate into first voice here, and then we'll just send the output straight out into quad VCA and just see what it sounds like. Okay, nothing too exciting. Let's add pitch as well, just to give us first voice. Then add some drums. Now you can see that I've cheated a little bit. I've got Ableton off here. There's a bit of side chaining going on there if you listen closely. Just see it's ducking under the kick there. I keep promising I will end up with a little modulator here to do some side chain compression, but for now, saving the money. Okay, so there's our initial voice. Okay, what should we do next? Let's send our voice, let's send it into Mimeophone, and then we will let's set some frequency modulation on this. Just get it going. We'll send it into Mimeophone, so we'll just set it dry for now to just get the signal chain going, and then we'll see what we can add with some modulation. We did this in the last video, but I'm just going to set it up again just so that we can just break this patch down so we can hear what it sounds raw versus what it sounds like when we send it through a filter here and then when we bring this voice in. So let's give that a go. Okay, I'm just going to try and replace that cable with something else that doesn't get in the way. As much as I love these braided cables for my own use, for demos, they kind of get in the way with the camera above and the kind of thick cables, so I'll try and stay away from these if I can. So we're off out into Mimeophone there, and then let's send that out into channel 1. So there's our dry signal. Let's bring the Mimeophone in, just see what it sounds like with some effects. Okay, that's the start. So let's turn it back down dry just so we can just see what kind of signals we can get through here. So again, let's send something through from the mimetic, and let's try and just add a little bit of frequency modulation in here. So maybe let's go straight into the VCF. So that's in FM1. FM2. Now I kind of like the FM1. It's kind of giving us that low pass filter and then a little bit of escape. Okay, so that's coming on channel 3 here. So let's send channel 3 through our attenuator here. Now, I like to use this in attenuator mode, which is 0 to 5 volts. Or if we flick this switch, we can go into attenuverter mode, which is -5 to 0 to +5. But I don't kind of like that because you've got to guess where the middle is. If there was a notch here and it kind of settled, I'd really like that. So there's something for the second generation of this module. If we could just have a notch on there, maybe if we were using it in this mode. But I prefer to use it as a fader, so we go from 0 up. So let's keep this going through channel 3 here. Keep it the same. So send that into the input. And send the output there, and then we can fade this in. Now that's not quite got the range. Is that because it's providing more than 5? Yeah, it doesn't sound quite the same. Oh, maybe it does. Okay, let's stick with that. Maybe we can just turn the frequency up a little bit. Yep, like the sound of that. So there's our frequency modulation. What should we try next? I'll tell you what, I'm going to leave the stereo dipole out for now. Let's just leave this going through. Yeah, let's just send that through raw for now. We'll bring the second voice in, and then I'll show just how good the stereo dipole is for just giving you these kind of amazing sweeps that you can have on the stereo filter here when you send them through the 2 dipole outputs. So we'll set up the ataraxic next. Shall we set that up? Is there anything else I want to modulate here? Let's try and bring in the clep. Let's try and bring the clep into here and just see how it affects the frequency modulation, because I've not tried that. I don't think I've tried that yet. So let's go through the unipolar output. Let's just lower this down so we've got no modulation here anymore. But this will give us like an offset. So you can see this flashing now is just as we kind of get this stepped random voltage. So the way I've got this set up is in random mode and up and down. So instead of it being either a standard up and down predictable LFO in this stepped mode, with the random it kind of jumps up and down as it's going up, but it's in a kind of predictable way as it still goes up and still goes down. I just find that gives the most interesting results that are unpredictable. So we'll stick with that. Okay, and let's bring in on track 2 here. So the way I've got the ataraxic, so the way I've got track 2 set up, if we look at track 1, track 1 is currently, oh, we're skipping here, so actually let's not skip that. So we've got 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've just reset that now to not skip track 2. Let's just reset. So this should be predictable now on our kit. We've got 8 steps. Ah, right, we only had 7 steps before. That's why it was giving us kind of polymetric. Yeah, let's keep it predictable for now, just so we can understand this. So we've got 8 steps here across these 7 sliders, because this one's got 2 steps. Okay, moving over to track 2. Track 2 is only 5 steps long. So 5 steps is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so we've got 6. So if we send this into the ataraxic, it should give us a slightly shorter, but kind of, I'm not sure if I'm going to set this up as a baseline or just exactly the same kind of frequency range. So let's just see how it goes. Let's try and stick to these thin cables so we can see what's going on. So we'll send the gate into... oh, I keep forgetting this doesn't have a VCA. So we need to send the gate into... Let's get a shorter cable. Let's send the gate into our javelin, because the javelin is an envelope VCA. So you can see this is now pulsing away. Let's just set the range nice and short to start with. So that's pulsing away now. And then we can just send the output from the ataraxic straight into the javelin. And then, send it into the input, not the output. So that's going on to the input there, triggered here by the gate that we can see. And then this output will need to go, we'll go through the carbon, but let's just see what it sounds like first. We'll just go straight to the quad VCA. Just use a long cable for now, so let's send the output into our channel 2. Okay, it's kind of a low note. Yeah, let's kind of bass for now, so let's now send this through the carbon. So we'll send the output into the input of the carbon, and then we'll send the 4-pole. Always use the 4-pole, don't know why, but always will. I'll send that straight into channel 2 here, and then we can just set the filter level. Okay, why have we got nothing? We've got the output going to the input. We've got the output of this going to the input. We've got the 4-pole going here. We have no output coming on channel 2. Why have we got no output? Done it again. Always do this. Low pass, band pass, input is number 3. Every bloody time. WMD, can we actually have like a massive sign saying input? Don't know why I get that wrong every time. I've seen people in their own videos get that wrong as well. Everyone's plugging into this band pass. We just need to get rid of the band pass. Just need to know what that input is. Okay, so that's the basic ataraxic. So you can tell from the ataraxic, the bass line here is only 6 notes long, and we've only got 2 notes, whereas when we're going through other voice here, we've got a lot more notes. So you can kind of set a bass line this long and your other this long. So they kind of work together really well. Or you can choose to skip notes. So this is another thing. If we choose to skip one of these notes, so on track 1, so we've got 8 notes, so everything's very predictable against the kick here. If I choose to skip, let's just move this cable. If I choose to skip one of these notes, Just keep this out of the way. That's better. So if we choose to skip one of these notes, we can actually change the start position. So let's try that. So if we skip this 2-note section here on our main voice and then bring it back in, so we just skip it once and then bring it back in, you'll notice everything changes. Hear the difference? It's exactly the same pattern, it's just starting at a different offset. I actually quite like that one more, so we'll just stick with that one. Right, we need some filter modulation. Now, because we've got some notes coming in here, which are, so this is an octave range here. So this bass line is going from C to C and then C again. So we've got a whole octave. So I'm going to send the pitch here into the volts per octave of the filter, just so it doesn't sound quite so muffled on the high notes. So we just open up the filter as we go up the range. So let's try that. So the pitch here into the volts per octave. Just here, that's very subtle, but it's just opened up the higher range. Let's just take that off. So even these higher notes here are muffled. Let's open them up. It is subtle, you won't hear it if you're on your phone probably, but it does just improve the sound of it. Standard technique, everyone uses it. I'm not going to claim any fame for it. Okay, what else can we do? Let's do our first proper filter modulation. We'll modulate the filter of the carbon here and just get this ataraxic moving. So let's take channel 1 here and we'll send it straight through. I'll just open this straight up. We'll send it straight through channel 1 and then into the carbon's filter modulation. That's channel 1 into channel 1 input, and then the output here wants to go into here, so that's another short cable. So do you hear how that just, not only is it opening up on the higher notes now, it's now randomly changing based on, this is why the carbon's good, because you've got the built-in attenuator here for your frequency modulation. So let's take that off. I'll just take the fold off, actually the fold's on, let's just keep it simple. So that's quite low now. Let's bring this up so we've got this sort of 2 o'clock modulation. So this should just open it up randomly. Again, subtle. Let's take it off. If we want to make it less subtle, we can always open up this. Now this will be dictated by this maximum amount, so we can set the maximum that we have this slider at. So I think that's kind of good. Let's take it off. Kind of muffled, low pass. Open it up. And if we actually add wavefolding in, that's even more extreme. That should sound even more now. Actually, I really like that. The wavefold sounding quite subtle today. Is it because I got the resonance down? Yeah, we got the resonance down. Also, we've got the it's not going through the mimeophone. If we had the resonance up there and we were going through the mimeophone, that would be going absolutely crazy. So let's just tame it for now. Okay, so here's our filter modulation on channel 1, dictated by channel 1 here on the mimetic. So I kind of like these settings here, so let's just save all those into bank 1. Everything else is down, so only the frequency modulation is going to change when I load shred. So let's just try randomly changing and see what happens. Hear how that randomly just subtly changed? So let's save that in slot 2 and let's go back to slot 1. See, it's just subtly different, but it's just subtly different enough. Again, I would love if we could just have a trigger here that would move between these save points, so that you could set up 8 really good save points and just every 4 bars or something like that, just randomly move between these. So yeah, suggestion for WMD on this, a suggestion for noise engineering for a nice little notch in the middle, and then a suggestion here again for noise engineering. Can we just move these save slots? That would be lovely, but we can't. Okay, let's just check what our CLEP is doing, so we'll switch it off. So CLEP was giving us like an offset here. So again, let's just remind ourselves what channel 2 is doing. It's got some random CV coming out of channel 3 here, being adjusted here by CLEP, and then it's going into the frequency modulation here. So if we increase that. So even if we switch CLEP off, it's still doing its thing. Pretty much takes it away. But CLEP just gives it this extra. And then we can just tame it down. Just tame down what that CLEP's doing. Here. This is why I love CLEP. It doesn't have any built-in attenuation itself. It's a great module, but man, do you have to tame the crap out of this thing, because it's got such a voltage range. You need some sliders. You've got to be able to tame it down. Unless you're sending it directly into just frequency modulation, it's fine, but send that into pitch somewhere and it's going absolutely crazy. So yeah, always sending that through either into its own channel and just attenuating it down, or using it to offset another channel. Okay, we've got one more channel here, so channel 4. So let's try and just change something on the ataraxic here. So could we do the waveform? Let's just see what would happen if we change the waveform. That's a really extreme change. Maybe we could do that one. The time mod, this is an interesting one. On its own, that sounds good. But imagine if we were sending that through mimetic, it would be pitch shifting all over the place. Let's try it. Give it a go. I'm not convinced, but we'll give it a go. So let's send that into the input of channel 4 here. Just max that out, and then we'll send the output. Let's get that into the time mod. See how that's just kind of ruining the sound. Now, adding a little bit. Just slight subtle sound on the pitch shift is okay, so let's stick with that. That's okay. I kind of want to have a go at this wave folding, but again, I think it needs to be really... Maybe if we send that into the wavefold instead. That's kind of fattening up the bass if we just touch it a little bit. If we go full on, that's ruining it. Just a tiny bit. Yeah, I like that. Now another good thing about the lapses is you get 2 outputs. Now I've got this one here, but I've run out of mimetic inputs, so I'm just going to send the same output here on channel 4 into the time mod, because the time mod just want a little tiny touch. So let's see if the same one works. Run out of short cables, so we're going to have to use this. I think that's working really well. Let's just take it off. Nope. Yeah, just that tiny bit there. It's just giving us what we need. Okay, I think we've got something there. So at the minute we've got, this is going through no effects and this is going through the mimeophone. So let's just see, let's keep the ataraxic raw and just bring in the effects on the mimeophone. Very slow delay, so let's bring that up. And then some hats. Okay, that sounds like it's waiting for something to happen. Sounds a little bit better. Maybe too much reverb, let's take that. And then what happens if we send the ataraxic through the mimeophone as well? Where's our output coming? Our output's coming here. That back. I'm not sure if I like that more, so let's just go back. Oh, that's the wrong one. Wonder why it's so quiet. Yeah, I kind of like that. We've got an effects channel and we've got a really planted bass there, so let's stick with that. Right, so that's our basic patch. Now, let's send both channels through the stereo dipole and just see what this does, because I love this thing, and we can, because they kind of interact with each other, and you can sweep the stereo filter and you end up with these really great effects. So let's see what we can do there. So channel A will be here, straight out into there, and then out the stereo dipole. So we've got this in bandpass mode here. And then let's also send the output from this filter channel B. So you can hear this is in low pass mode, so we can just about hear that now. Just to compare that. A lot louder. Just about hear that as a nice bass line now. Okay, let's just sweep the filter and see what happens. You can hear how they're kind of talking to each other. And then the bandpass will just bring that back in. See why I like this now? Okay, let's try and modulate this so we can send something into the filter, into the stereo frequency here, and get something a little. And because we've got an attenuator on here, we're at maximum, we can send a value in directly from CLEP and then tame it back. So we don't need to send it through here. So let's just try something directly from CLEP here. We've got this by input. Let's just dial that back. So because it's going higher and lower, we need to increase. Tame it down. Without. Nope, not hearing it. Can hear it there. It's not really having any effect. I thought it would have more effect than that. Maybe let's increase the steps here. No, that's not working either. So let's abandon that. Maybe if only I had a mult up here. This will do. So let's mult one of these outputs. Which one should we go for? Doesn't really matter. Let's just randomly pick one. Channel 4. Oh no, not channel 4. Because channel 4 we were using for our time mod and our wave, and we needed that low. So let's maybe try channel 1. Actually, this is going to be interesting. Let's try and send. Oh, what am I doing? I've got two outputs. Let's send the second output. Let's just send the second output. What am I doing? I've got two outputs. Send that second output in here. There we go. 0. So where else is this going? What else? Oh, I've ruined the frequency modulation now. Yeah, I kind of don't really want to tie it to that one. However, we could send it into channel 3. Where's channel 3 going? Channel 3's modulating this, which was slightly minor. We've got this kind of high, but we've also got CLEP modulating as well, so that might actually be. Yeah, that's the one. Let's just replace this with a shorter cable. If it reaches. Oh my god. Hell, you're reaching. Tried to fight me, but we're in. Now let's sweep the filter. Spare. What the hell can we do with channel 2? Maybe if we send the bipolar input into channel 2 and then send the output somewhere. That's the only one I've got left, so let's give it a go. So the input to channel 2. This should start moving. Why are we not moving? Oh, because it's the Oh, right, okay, so it needs to be there because this will be going up and down. It's kind of converting this into an attenuator. Okay, so we need that at least halfway. Note to self, remember that. And then what else can we modulate? What about fold? Noise probably won't be making much difference because kind of low passing this thing, so you wouldn't get much noise through that. Maybe if I turn it up and get it really high. Yeah, there's a little bit of noise there. Let's not do that. Ooh, there we go. But what can we modulate? I don't really want to touch the mimeophone. What about some spread maybe? Spread might have something. Let's try spread on the other voice. Yeah, maybe. Let's try the spread. It's not going to have a massive effect. We'll give it a go. See how that makes a slight difference? On voice 1 here. Shorter cables. Filter sweep, so good. See how the frequency modulation is just giving us this nice. Now I've turned the reverb right up. If we take this off, we're at a really, really low frequency. We've got a really big reverb on there. I like the short delay. Let's keep it the short delay whilst we're doing this. And if we just bring this in, it will just blip that. Notice how this is having no effect. This is frequency modulating here. Because we're on the low pass filter, we're getting nothing out of the ataraxic. Let's see if we can just get something out of the ataraxic. So by opening up the low pass filter here, even though we're low down on here, we just get something come through there. When we send this. That's now. Open this up even more here on the carbon, we're going to get even more coming through here. And then what happens when we sweep the filter? Okay. tell this is just too open now, so let's bring it back. And our main effects here coming through this voice on a bandpass, we'll just open that. Now we've lost that out of the frequency range and all we've got is the ataraxic. So let's tame the ataraxic back. Only just hear a little tiny bit of this voice, so let's bring this back in now on the band. And then that bass is just going to tail off. We've got both low pass filters here for this. So the only thing giving this any kind of breadth now is our modulation here from track 3, which is doing nothing. So let's bring that in now. This will also give us a little bit of spike coming through our filter here. So the filter mimeophone, even though the mimeophone's opened up wide, we've got a long reverb here, but it's really filtered. So let's bring that up, get some peaks again. I'll saturate it, we can get this. See how we've opened up this now? The low pass filter is opened up and we've gone way past the band of this, so we've just got the ataraxic here. And then we can bring back in this. We go back past 12 o'clock. Drums. So there we go. I hope that's showing you how it's not really so much about the voices. Yeah, we've got, I mean, all we've got here is some frequency modulation on a very simple subtractive synth voice here. Yeah, okay, the ataraxic is a little bit more complex. You get some more gnarly sounds out of it. It doesn't really matter what you use here. It's mostly about mimetic, how we attenuate, and how we amend. Between those three things, all we're doing really is modulating our filters on here, our stereo spread here on voice 1, our frequency modulation here on the ataraxic. What else can we do? I tell you what, let's just shred mimetic and just see what happens. And I think it's sounding a little bit similar because the filter here was opened up so high and we're also then modulating the filter. I don't think we're getting much on this, so let's just get back down where we were. Yeah, there we go. Maybe open up clip a few more steps. Again. Changes through there are coming through a little bit too subtly. Why is that? Okay, I can hear that channel 1 has changed here. I think it's because this isn't actually doing all. Maybe if we put them all up maximum. Okay, that's making a difference. And the other thing there is I've just accented the javelin here. Anything else we can try? Let's just try one more thing. Let's just send the envelope into here instead of something from mimetic. Let's just see what happens. I think there's a lot going on now, so it's not really that audible. It's a little bit more predictable now. Right, I think we'll leave it there. Well, I hope that's given you an idea that two voices, doesn't really matter what they are. Hit up your filters, and especially if you've got a stereo filter. You know, it's not just the SSF that do a good stereo filter. Other vendors are available, as the BBC would say. But if you've got one, make the most of it.